Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of the Midweek Sports Report. And can you hear that? Can you feel it? Can you see it? That's called excitement. Right there. I'm feeling the buzz. It's in the air. It's like a bee right here in my ear. It's just buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. We're in the quarterfinals of the Class 4A New Mexico High School State Football Championships. A lot to talk about. Right now, number 3, Silver High School, had a bye week last week. They're going to be at home Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. And who's coming into Silver City? None other than number 6, Portales High School. The Rams are going to invade Silver City, and the Colts are ready for them. That game's going to kick off at 1 p.m., Silver High School. We need to get a packed house. Everybody needs to get there. And it's just going to be a great game. Silver High, of course, they are going to be at home. And depending on who wins on the next bracket, on the bottom side, they're going to be at home again next week because of all their traveling they've done the last 2 years. And even in the championship, high probability of them being at home. Silver High School could play every single game at home in the state playoffs. And that's something to get excited about. Coach Branson down there doing a spectacular job with these boys, trying to get them ready for this game. And you better believe it, Silver High is going to be there, and they're going to give it 120%. Now, your Cobre High Indians, they are on the road, and they are number 5. They will be headed to Bloomfield High School to face the number 4 Bobcats. A long road trip. But I just got off the phone with Coach Jerry Martinez, and he told me your Indians will be ready to go. It's going to be a dogfight. Whatever team executes the best and whatever team does everything that they're supposed to is going to win this game. This game is going to come down to the trenches. So that's where the game is going to be won, in the trenches. Cobre High, unfortunately, is going to be without Brian Minus. He was on the offensive line. He got hurt last week against Hot Springs, and he will be sidelined. TJ Ortiz will take over his position, and TJ Ortiz, he's got some experience. It's not like he hasn't been there before. He's played that position before, so look for Ortiz to get in there and make an effort. Other first round games, we're going to talk upsets. Number 1 Robertson is at home against number 8 Hatch Valley. That game will also be played on Saturday. Let me tell you a little story here. The Cardinals are going to be without their star wide receiver and their star quarterback. Dominic Lucero, J.R. Gonzalez both got suspended, ejected from the game. They have to miss a game per the New Mexico Athletics Association handbook. They were on a bye last week, so this is the game they will be out. Lucero accounts for more than half of Robertson's total yardage, touchdowns. It's just, you take a person like that out of the equation, and I smell upset. Quarterback that's going to be coming in to replace him is a freshman. Lucero's also a cornerback. On defense, this kid can go up and is arguably probably one of the best players in the state, offensively and defensively. He shuts down your number 1 wide receiver. Not that Hatch is a passing team. They are going to try and pound it. Robertson, they have an awesome offensive and defensive line. Some big boys, big linebackers. So that's going to equal out some things here. But Hatch Valley looking for them to pull off the upset. Your other quarterfinal game, Ruidoso is at home against St. Michael's. Ruidoso, of course, your number 2 seed. St. Mike's, your number 7 seed. So that's what's going on this weekend in your Class 4A New Mexico High School State Championships. Now, I had the extreme privilege of talking to Silver High senior quarterback Zach Jasso. I got a story in the Sun News. Pick up a copy of the edition. Story came out in Tuesday's paper. This kid is just a phenomenal athlete, and played 7th and 8th grade over at La Plata Middle School for Coach Brandon Siqueiros and Coach Raul Diaz. He then transferred over to Deming High School, was a freshman quarterback. His sophomore year, Also JV quarterback and didn't get to play a lot of varsity. His junior year switched the roles, wide receiver and tight end. Had a great year with Deming, and then he transferred back, won a state baseball championship with the Fighting Colts last year. Went out in the summer, fought for the starting quarterback position. He did get it, and this kid is just phenomenal. He's led his Colts to a 7-3 record, a District 3-4A title, beating the Cobre High Indians in Bayard. He's rushed for 350 yards, passed for 600, and has 10 touchdowns. And all these stats came before the last regular season game. So, of course, you can add a lot more. He threw a lot against Hot Springs in that final game. Talked to Jasso. He told me this about Portales. We are focusing on Portales, and we know that we need to play them well and get the job done. We learned a lot during our bye week, and having to get ready for 2 different football teams helped us focus and be ready. Jasso is all about the love for his team and teammates. He also told me there's nothing like playing with the friends you grew up with. That's the biggest thing for me. We are all close. I'm having fun being their quarterback, and I know there is a lot more pressure now that the playoffs are here, but I am trying to handle it as best I can and be here for all my teammates. And let me tell you one thing, if there's anything that Jasso can do, he is a leader. He is the unspoken leader on that Silver High football team, so look for the Colts to be ready to go. Once again, great story in the Sun News. Pick up an edition, get online and read all about it. We're now going to switch our attention to Silver High girls basketball. Whoa, let me tell you one thing, this team is young, very young. 2 seniors, 2 juniors on the team. They opened at home Tuesday night and they fell to Gadsden 62-23. Alyssa Arsola led silver with 8 points, while Asia Salas followed with 6. Tracy Lackey had 4, Larissa Bly had 3, and Danica Staley added 2 points. The Lady Colts jumped out on this game, took a quick lead, played right there with the Lady Panthers for most of the first quarter, and then the wheels fell off the bus. Gadsden was led by Melanie Herrera, who posted 17 points. April Garcia followed with 13, and Erica Anaya posted 8 points. Silver remains at home. They will play next week against Centennial High. That game will be Tuesday. Action starts at 4 p.m. Let me tell you one thing about these Lady Colts. Their schedule, they will not see anybody in their classification until district time. They play nothing but Class 5A and 6A schools up until then, and hopefully by then this Lady Colt team will be ready to go. Quick story, still got some hunting stuff to talk about, and now we're going to talk a little bit with Paul Garcia. He made it 2 for 2 years in a row. Opening day of his rifle hunt, he downed a nice 8-point mule deer with about a 26-inch spread in Unit 24. Garcia told me he was with his friend Steven Perea. They were out there glassing a skyline in the afternoon, saw 2 bucks and a doe, went chasing after him after a short stalk, shot this buck at about 130 yards while the buck was running. Garcia told me this: "It's one of the biggest I've killed. It was a good shot and I had a lot of fun. I know a lot of people weren't having much luck in this unit, so I was pretty happy about it. We had to have a celebration beer on the spot, and I was excited. And for all you hunters out there, you know exactly what he's talking about." Once again, great story. We're gonna pause right now, take a look at some of those great photos, and we'll be right back right after this. It's Danny, sports editor, Silver City Sun News. We're back, and we're going to stick with the football. Want to thank Abe over at Western New Mexico University for the great backdrop. And we're going to talk Mustang football right now. 10 Western New Mexico University football players were selected to the All-Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Running back Marquise Rogers was named the Offensive Freshman of the Year. He was the first Mustang to go over 1,000 yards in several years. He rushed for 1,296 yards on 229 carries. He had 6 touchdowns. His rushing yards broke Anthony Gray's 1,284 back in 1998, and they're the most yards on the ground for any Mustang since Anthony Gray posted 2,220 yards in 1997. Rogers was also named to the second team offense. He ranked high nationally, finishing 16th in rushing yards and 20th in yards per game in Division II football. Wide receiver Donald Byrd landed on the first team following his standout season. His 1,200 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns are the second most on the team and past several years. And for his career, he ended up with 232 receptions, 3,144 yards, and 26 touchdowns. All of his numbers are best since the program moved to Division II in 1992-1993. Safety Darius Guillory was also named to the first team. He tallied 5 interceptions, which are the most since Cameron Drawhorns had 4 in 2011, and is the most by any Mustang in at least the past 8 seasons. Guillory was tied for 28th nationally in interceptions and was 4th in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Sticking with football, it was a record-setting season for the Mustangs, who wound up finishing their last game at home this past weekend against Black Hill State. Of course, they picked up a victory. The Mustangs went 5-6 this year and landed in 5th in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. The 5 wins marks the most since the 5-6 campaign in 2011. On the offensive side of the ball, the 5,606 total offensive yards are the most since the team moved to Division II back in 1992. Mitch Glassman, quarterback, broke his own career and program record since the team moved to Division II. His freshman season, he threw for 3,543 yards and had 33 touchdowns this season. Both are new program marks. Donald Byrd, again, 1,200 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns are the second most on the team in the past several years. And his career, he ended up with 232 receptions, 3,144 yards, and 26 touchdowns. All of his numbers are the best since the program moved to Division II in 1992. We spoke a little bit about Marquise Rogers. He was the first Mustang to go over 1,000 yards in several years. He broke Anthony Gray's record. Again, Darius Guillory tallied 5 interceptions, which are the most since Cameron Drawhorn had 4. And Christian King's 3 fumble recoveries are the most since 2008, when Aaron Sharp tallied 3. This story again in your Silver City Sun News. It's going to be in Thursday's edition, so pick up a copy, check it out. Sticking with Western New Mexico University Athletics, head coach Rusty Kennedy girls basketball announced the signing of Megan Looney. She's a 6-foot center who is currently playing at Apache Junction High School. She brings several accolades to the Lady Mustangs. She's a team captain at Apache Junction. Prior to that, she played at Juggernaut St. Mary's in Phoenix, Arizona, where she won 2 state championship rings as a freshman and as a sophomore. Her junior season, she posted a career-high 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 steals against Saguaro High School. Last year in the season opener, she tallied 15 points, 15 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 assists, and a block against Alhambra. She ended up leading the team in scoring her junior year, averaging 15 points per game. This young lady is coming over to play for Western New Mexico University next year. Sticking with women's basketball, the Western New Mexico University women's basketball team will open up the 2014-15 regular season Thursday night at home against the University of Southwest out of Hobbs, and then they will conclude the weekend on the road at the Pit in Albuquerque against Eastern New Mexico University. The Lady Mustangs are coming off an impressive 58-54 exhibition victory over Division I Northern Arizona University. Ashley Mitchell in that game tallied 19 points. Prior to that win, Western had strong showings against Idaho State and Utah State. Against Idaho State, Stephanie Moore led the way with 11 points, while Mitchell added 10. Mitchell also led the way against Utah State with 13 points. That game Thursday night, 6 p.m. Get there, check out these Lady Mustangs. I have a really good feeling this team is going to be very high in the conference this year. They're going to be a team we're going to be proud to look at. Get out there, check them out. Once again, we're wrapping it up. This is Danny with the Silver City Sun News. See me on Sunday. We're going to have all the football action as well as some basketball games that were going on. So long, everybody.